I didn't need the big, intense of the Ladaig. Hello, fellow whiskey trialers. I'm in my little whiskey corner, standing here. This ever-evolving little corner of mine where I've started putting my whiskies, and there's glasses here. I need to organise it better, but it's starting to kind of take shape. So quite often I stand here and I think about whiskey, I taste whiskey, I take notes, and I thought, you know what, I should probably set up the camera and maybe do like a couple of videos here. So I thought I'd do like a Whisky Talks to start off with. And the Whisky Talks is something that I've been thinking about, which is filler whiskies. And by filler whiskies, I mean whiskies that fill the time in between the big hitters. Because if you're like me, you can't afford the big hitters all the time. I try and I probably drink them a little too much because I really enjoy them, but I can't afford to buy these big bottles all the time. So the Old Pulteney 17s, the Ladaig 13s, the Tobermory 12s, the Springbank Castress 12 discontinued, the Glendronach 18s, you know, all these kind of whiskies. They're quite expensive, you know, most of them are 50 quid plus. So I just can't afford to keep that going all the time. I wish I could, it'd be great. Or would it? This is one of my talking points today, because the filler whiskies fill the gaps between these tasting these ones. So for instance, this Ladaig 13, I had a couple of these the other night, and I was just like, whew, you know, I was almost tired after it, because there's so much going on. I'm thinking about it so much. I'm smelling it. I'm mentally taking notes. I'm physically taking notes. I'm like, wow, this is like a bit of a beast. It's so much going on on the palate and on the nose that it was difficult to just sit and relax and drink a whiskey, because I'm so involved in it. So I had about 2 or 3 of them, and then I was like, I can't have any more. That's it. I'm done. And I picked up a bottle of this Glenmurray Elgin Classic, absolute perfect filler whiskey. This one is the Cabernet cask finish, which is probably one of the best Elgin Classics I've tried thus far. I think I've only got one to go. And I was just like, when I had a sip of it, I was like, this is what I needed. I just wanted that nice relaxing nip. I didn't need the big intense of the Ladaig. So obviously there's a whiskey for every occasion. People know that. I mean, I could have had potentially the Tobermory 12, right? Because that's nice and light, refreshing, and delicate compared to its counterpart, the Ladaig. But I didn't. And why didn't I? Because the Tobermory 12's a little bit more expensive. And I'm like, not got much of that left. I probably need to do a review on that. So yeah, I'll just leave that one. So the Glenmurray was a perfect choice. And just now as well, I'm quite low down on a lot of my big hitting whiskies. And I'm trying to save them for reviews and all the rest of it. So my dram tonight is this Loch Lomond, which I picked up for $19.99. I think it's normally about 25 quid, 26 quid online. And I picked it up and I thought, you know, I'll give that a try. I've not tried it before, but I thought it's probably going to be a filler whiskey. Of course it is. It's just a standard Loch Lomond original, you know, non-age statement. But you know what? It's perfectly fine. It is light, it's refreshing, and you put it in a tumbler. You don't need to like Glencairn it and get all pernickety about the nose and the palate and all that stuff. You just stick it in a tumbler, relax, enjoy it. It's a Friday. I've had a hard week, and this is going down a treat. So I wondered if anybody else had been thinking about filler whiskies, and I wondered what your filler whiskies are, because I actually think it's an important part of the kind of whiskey journey now, because it is like the kind of just the go-to. It's like, you fancy a wee dram or something like that before bed, something light, whatever. And it can't be too expensive. Like, you can't be drinking £100 bottle of whiskey, a wee dram before you go to your bed. You know, that's normally a special occasion kind of dram. So what is everybody's favourite filler whiskey? I mean, I really like the Glenmurrays, the Elgin Classic. They're good. Perhaps you like a black bottle. I've got this one. Sarah bought this. it's 2 smoking barrels, this one. It's got fire on it, but tell you what, I wouldn't recommend it. It kind of reminds me of the little red twisty sweeties you used to get, the kind of like cinnamony, fiery things, but not as intense. A little bit boring. This one as well. I mean, probably most people might not class that as a filler whiskey, but I picked up this on a deal for less than 30 quid. So, you know, if it's less than 30 quid, I'd probably class it as a potential filler, because, you know, that's an affordable dram. I mean, at 20 quid, this Loch Lomond, it really hits the spot. If it was 30 quid, I might be moaning about it. It's not 30 quid's worth. 25, maybe pay that a push. But for 20 quid, it's a bargain. And, you know, it's still got stuff going on in the nose. It's like a golden, delicious apple kind of thing going on there, but like the flesh, not necessarily the skin. It's got a light sweetness. Yep, nice, easy, delicate, refreshing. It's not complex in any way, but I'm not buying it to be complex. It you know, it does what it says on the tin. There's nowhere on here that tell me it's going to blow me away. It says smoothed to perfection. It is very smooth. You know, it doesn't tell me it's smoky and it's going to do this and it's going to do that. It's all good. And for 20 quid, I'm happy. So, filler whiskies. What's your favourite? What am I missing? Tell me some good filler whiskies that are less than 30, less than 25, around the 20 quid mark. Can it get better than Glenmorangie? There must be some good blends as well, around about that kind of price point that can compete. So yeah, here's to the filler whiskies, an important part of the whiskey journey, I think. And tell me some ones that I can buy. Tell me some more. Slanja.